Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Magic the Gathering Duels of the Planeswalkers 2015! 2015! There's been 2,000 years, and then another 15 years of Magic the Gathering.
And one version of Magic to go with every year.
Yep.
Yeah.
2015 of them, and then they might go double up.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up, it might be 2 per year.
Yeah, could
Somebody
be.
told me on Twitter.
Right, I heard that too. No, didn't he say it was quarterly?
Oh, I'm sorry. There's 4 quarters in a year. That's 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So
how is that actually gonna happen, though?
That's a great question.
I hope each one of them is $20.
I hope each one of them is $7.95.
No, $20 is perfect.
Specifically.
Because you would pay $20 for Magic.
$795.
Oh.
I mean, they
$20
really, if they go to a quarterly release, that would be the most absurd thing.
Absurdly brilliant. Crazy like a fox.
You know what? Maybe they'll make a lot more money doing
You know why they call it a quarterly release? Because you make a lot of quarters.
Are they gonna have like 4 teams, or are they just gonna work the one team that they have on this game to death?
They hire Sledgehammer, Treyarch, and Infinity War. And basically they'll just work them to death and then also bring in 3 more teams.
And then you'll have to just kind of pick which team is the best team and argue about it on the internet.
Well, which one has the diamonds? Because that's the team I'm on.
I'm Team Left Shark, personally.
Team Diamond.
Left Shark. Yeah, I'm Team Left Shark.
I like Team Best Shark.
Yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. Yeah. He is the best shark.
Before we started the recording, Rob noted how short we had before PAX time is upon us.
Mm-hmm.
For the sheer reason of how long he has to play Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse.
Yeah. I'm really, really inordinately excited about that game. Also, I don't know if I used the word inordinately properly there.
I was going to say, I don't know what that word means.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used it improperly, but I used it anyway.
Inordinately excited. I think that's right.
It might be right. I'm a little bit fuzzy on whether or not it is.
Like a peach. I'm just a little tired, though, is the thing, so I can't actually think of grammar properly right now, but I think it's right.
Well, it might be. But anyway, yeah, no, I'm really excired for Dragon Ball Xenoverse. It's going to be real fun.
I was, until you told me there's 50 characters, which is fucking bullshit.
Yeah, apparently the roster is rather small, and there's another part of the thing that the community is very outraged over, which is the fact that you can't play Team Gohan in his normal state. He only comes in Super Saiyan state.
What?
Yeah, which actually is just honestly a strange decision. Keep in mind though that Dimps, the guys who are making Dragon Ball Xenoverse, were the guys behind Budokai Tenkaichi 3, so you know.
Classic Dimps.
Yeah.
Classic Dimps. Man, that's how many characters did you say? I didn't hear.
50.
It's about 50 or something
50.
like that.
It's basically none.
Well, see, in Tenkaichi 3 there were like 170 or something ridiculous, which was great. I mean, I loved it personally.
Okay,
but you have to keep them right. There were really like 5. That's the thing. Like there were like 5 characters, and then they just made like skin swaps, which actually is okay for me as like a Dragon Ball Z fan, because I mean, let's be honest, the fights aren't like, not a lot of great deal of difference happens in all the different fights.
But that's the problem, is that there needs to be a greater deal of difference between all the fighting.
Oh, I agree, and
like,
that's what Xenoverse is supposed to do. So
yeah,
even 50 is going to be pushing it. Like, that's a lot of things you have to think up for each character, you know, to balance that. To do, I don't know, that's a lot.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening with that, but
well, if they would just hire all the teams they're gonna need for Magic, maybe they could sort it out then.
How did we all get to like turn 4 with having like 1 creature on the board?
I don't have any creatures.
I didn't either. Like, that was the only one that I had.
Creatures are overrated.
But yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. I'm just excited. The only reason that I'm even excited about that game is you get to create a custom character, and I can't fucking wait to create a custom character. It's gonna be the coolest thing ever. So
if you want to play as Vegeta, I don't care about your custom anything.
Why do you want to play as Vegeta so bad?
Dude, have you seen his hair? It looks like a fireball.
I mean, it's pretty sweet, but I mean, like, you played Vegeta
don't all their
like
hair
a million
look
times.
the same though? Like, they're all fireballs.
No, Goku's hair is like kind of out of control. Vegeta's is like a point of a flame because he's precise. He strikes like the fierce Jaws of Justice.
He's swift as the coursing river, and
that's exactly what I was gonna say. Actually, the coursing river.
Very swift.
Very swift. The key runs through his cock strongly.
Yeah. Oh yes, it does. Yep.
Oh wait,
very much so.
What?
Yeah.
No,
yeah. So Vegeta, he's got the ill widow's peak. He's got the illest widow's peak.
The pink shirt is amazing too.
He does have the pink shirt, yeah, that he wears
in the Videl period. What are you doing to me before I see what I'm?
You're losing 2 lives.
He's sanguining.
Kind of don't agree with you.
That's okay. I don't have any creatures.
But yeah, no, yeah, he does wear that pink shirt. That was I've been going back and I've been rewatching the Boo Saga because historically I hate the Boo Saga, and
yeah.
Oh, so logically the next step would be to watch it again.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. It's less bad than I remember, but it's.
Has he turned everyone in the city into candy yet? Because that's when it gets bad.
Oh yeah. He did. He's done that several times already.
Oh my God, Boo! Just eat everybody and die. Who cares?
Yeah, he's a real. Yeah, that whole saga was just real awful. But the thing is, you know what made me appreciate it more is I went back and I watched Dragon Ball GT because I never really watched that. I only watched a couple episodes and decided that it was fucking garbage. Turns out I was completely right. GT is fucking garbage, and Boo Saga looks great in comparison. So
I believe that, yeah.
That's what made me I think come around on Boo Saga a bit.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah,
it's still pretty bad, though.
I only remember watching, like, the first 10 episodes of the Boo Saga. I don't remember. And I don't even remember those. Like, it's just been so long.
It's not great. It's pretty bad.
Cell Saga was real good.
Cell Saga is where the show should end. And in fact, in Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is the...
Key.
No, in Dragon Ball Z Kai, that's the they remastered all the episodes of Dragon Ball Z and cut them down and cut out all the yelling and stuff and made it more watchable. And it's only 80 episodes. They end the series at Cell Saga, which is where it's supposed to fucking end.
All right,
guys, I lost.
Oh yeah, I mean it seems like you're in a bad place.
You got sanguine blood out, man. It's the only option.
It was one of those games where I wasn't winning with those land draws.
I actually accidentally took the wrong hand when I started, so I thought I was gonna lose, but then it seems like it turned around.
I mean, my hand is also awful. I think all of our hands were really, really terrible in this particular game of Magic.
Oh, good for us.
Yeah.
You guys did get creatures though.
I got one creature, yeah. That's a good point. I got one of them.
That qualifies as more than I have.
I'm honestly amazed that you have 6 lands and 7 cards in your hand and you don't have any cards.
Well, the issue is all my creatures are white creatures and I don't have any white lands.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, this had to happen.
Did it though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Goodbye, Austin.
No!
Oh, what is this?
For one more turn, or at least until Rob. No,
what
Rob,
is he doing?
yeah.
Stop timer. I can't see this.
Bam.
Are there any cards even in the graveyard?
I get 1 life, bitch. I'm still alive.
You're gonna exile that from the... Okay, fine. Whatever. I should have gone overkill. I had one more thing I could have hit you with.
Really
Professional Magic player.
I didn't expect that he had anything.
He's even gonna do damage to you. Wow.
Rob, you need to keep me alive here, all right?
I have no means by which to do that.
To keep me alive, you can not attack me.
Well, yeah, I'm not going to attack you, obviously.
Thank you. Okay, that's what I meant. I don't
Rob, you just as well may, though, because I'm not going to do anything differently whether you do or don't. Even if you don't have a blocker, it's not going to make a difference.
Don't listen to him.
I actually was quite surprised that you didn't deal the 5 damage to me when it was free just now, but...
Yeah.
You know.
Just saying.
I'm just saying that I'm going to do my damage to Nick. Your name is not Nick. That's a positive for you.
Oh, that's an excellent point. You know, I hadn't really considered that until you just said it.
Because I'm not in a winning period here. I'm in a do every single bit of damage I can do before I losing period here.
Right.
Oh, look who it is.
It's Warstorm Surge.
I love this dragon.
What a bro. He's a feisty little guy. Is he like dancing in the pictures?
What are you doing here?
Look, he's dancing.
your dragon.
Oh, plays were made.
Why? Again, why can't I stop the timer sometimes? Because I meant to do something there.
I don't know.
Did I just not click it? Maybe
I forgot about the ogre powers.
Why?
Ogre, it's all ogre now.
Hmm.
Yeah, his haste.
Yeah.
All right. See if I draw a white land.
A white land.
Nope, I'm just gonna not take a turn here, guys. I will see you on the next one.
Oh man.
Now since the game, went ahead and did it for me, you can see what position I've been in the past couple of turns. Well, it looks like Nick has a new ally, and that is me.
Why?
Because I.
The dust is fleshy.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Austin?
Still not entirely 100% beneficial to you to kill me right now, because you don't know where I align.
No, I'm pretty sure I know, because I did like all of your health.
Of the game.
That's a good point, yeah.
It's pretty easy for me to determine. I mean, if you want to kill this guy, then be my guest. You know what? I should probably not use that one in particular. I should probably use like this one.
Nick, come on, man.
Sorry. Them's the facts. Them's the rules.
I feel like
Sanguine blood.
It's a little aggressive.
All right, Rob, you got to pull out another Shivan now.
Oh, this is interesting.
Let's do it.
Don't disqualify yourself, Rob.
Do it.
Okay, no, it's not that one. Oh, you gave him the fluties. Oh, that's an issue for Nicholas. Oh, now he has more things. All right, and is that enough to? No, it's not the one that gives +1. Oh no. Disaster.
This is an interesting thing to go from 4/4 that can't really hurt me to 7/4 that does.
Yeah.
Hurts really bad, yeah.
You can fly.
Ideally, all Rob has to do here now is play a creature with value 1/1, and that will kill Nick.
This is such a serious commentation thing you're doing right now.
Yeah, I'm practicing for my magic commentating career.
Curve?
Curve. A curve.
Carver.
Play that.
Intriguing.
Believe it.
And we're gonna shuffle that.
Oh, now you have the life back.
Something like that, yeah.
The life that you once had, which was taken, is now yours again.
And you have nothing.
Nope.
Oh, Rob. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're dead, Austin. So I mean.
Yeah, no, I kind of precluded that you weren't really in this fight. Sorry.
Yeah,
it's fine. I'll just be over here.
Am I gonna regret not having a blocker? How much?
No, I mean it's a slice.
Are you gonna end up with? You don't really do haste very often, right?
No. Also, this thing flies anyway, so.
Wow.
This thing flies anyway.
My ogre.
Ogres don't fly. Ogres are like onions.
This guy's got some cobbled wings on him, so.
Rob's a good liar.
Ogres don't fly, Rob.
Yeah, your ogre gives haste to everything that you play.
Yeah, that's true.
You actually have all the haste.
All right. Well, let's see if you've got 6 worth that you can cast right now.
Did you draw Inferno Titan?
No.
That would be funny if he did that. I would laugh. And then laugh also.
I'm just doing math. Okay.
Stop doing
that. It out. All right, that's 2 damage. That's 3 damage because it. Well, does it do the damage before or after? Actually, I guess we'll find out. It does it before or after. Oh wait, does that come into account? It does. Oh my. So it gets all the buffs and then does the damage. All right, so yeah, Nick's dead actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, with that.
Oh, yeah, I can just do that.
Actually, what the fuck just happened?
I can just do it that way. I didn't actually even realize.
You were so fucking dead. I had like 2 more scavenger drakes. I had a thing with undying. Like, how did that just happen?
If I got any creature card in my deck, you were dead. So
if I had gotten any creature, period.
I had all of my creature synergies in my hand at the same time.
Yeah.
And enough land to use them too.
Mm-hmm.
Plays
if
grenades.
It weren't for those meddling kids.
Yeah. Meddling kids, you'd be giants and fucking dragons.
Yeah. Yeah, I got the ogre. He put some cobbled wings on him so he could fly. So
Got an image of a flying ogre now. It's quite hysterical.
Mm-hmm. He's got the cobbled wings. You got to pretend he's got the cobbled. Think about the cobbled wings he's got, and then he's flying around.
Wings one more time, I swear to God.
Cobble some wings. By the way, you know, this is something that has been coming. It's been coming all over me. No, it's been a problem recently. So I tend to apply a stutter to me speaking in order to have some sort of a humorous effect. But I feel like I've done it so much that it might just be the way that I speak now.
Yeah, that's the way the brain works. You kind of dig into these certain synaptic pathways, and then all of a sudden they kind of take over.
Pathways.
So, like, I also have speech issues, apparently, and I can't seem to stop them, so who cares?
Yeah, I guess it sort of happens.
Yeah. I'm going through my head now. I'm like, what speech issues do I have here?
It happens. No, I mean, like, sometimes I apply a stutter because it would be, you know, it's humorous.
Sometimes I apply directly to the forehead.
Really?
Yeah.
How's that?
To the forehead.
Austin, are you going to be buying Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
I'm not a fighting game guy, so probably not.
It's not really like, it's not like you're not don't expect to pick this up and be getting Street Fighter here. This is about as casual as it gets when it comes to fighting games.
It's insulting, Rob. I was actually planning on becoming a Xenoverse Pro.
Really?
And so the fact that you would insult the scene like that is really
the thing about it is that this game is going to be the most fighting game out of any Dragon Ball Z game. Like, well, you know, beyond the original Budokai
Your is not a
series.
fighting game argument's looking pretty flimsy right
now. Well, but it's
you're kind of playing both sides on. Let's be honest.
I am. I'm playing. Well, because it will be extremely casual for, like, if you got fucking, you know, Falco to come in here and try to, you know, work out the mechanics of Xenoverse, it would take him like 5 minutes and he would be a fucking pro, right?
Queen Jab it.
Yeah, but I got it actually. But you know. There are some combos and stuff and shit that you can fuck around with, and really the interesting stuff, for me at least, comes from the combos that you can make with your custom character, like different ways that you can combo all of the special abilities. Because you use any special ability of any character in the game on your custom character.
Right.
So you can, like, make up your own combos, which is really cool to me.
Can I equip my character with a power pole that can extend at will?
I don't know, actually. Maybe.
Because I would like to extend my power pole and then beat you to death with it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's
power pole extend!
You can't play as little Kid Gohan, right? That's
not Kid Gohan? Yeah, you can play as Kid Gohan.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
That guy's pretty strong.
Yeah!
Too, so it's amazing how strong he is.
That's true, yeah.
He plays big old monkey dude?
No, they didn't add that in this one.
He's a good, like, fatality.
Can you fight the young Goku versus his son as young Gohan?
No, they don't have Kid Goku either.
Fuck.
The reason that they said that they don't have...
trash.
The reason they don't have the original Dragon Ball characters is because most of the original Dragon Ball characters can't fly, and the game...
Who cares? Red Ribbon Army, 5 life.
Yeah, that's true. You could have the Demon King Piccolo. That would be fucking cool.
Can you have the dragon from the Dragon Balls?
Oh, can you fight the dragon and steal his balls?
That would be fucking awesome.
If Nick does one more fucking euphemism, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
I can't stop. I'm sorry.
No, that was
It's all about dragons lately. I was just watching the How to Train Your Dragon 2. That movie's real good.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Oh, here's the thing. If you are thinking about getting it, you should
sure. Just fuck whatever I just said.
You should probably pre-order it.
All right, fine.
You should pre-order it, Nick.
Oh, is that actually a segue so I could talk about the order?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's pretty good if you did that. Don't pre-order video games, everybody.
So which one is the order? Is the order Tom... Is that the Tom Clancy one?
Tom Clancy's The Order, yes. That's the one. It's the one about spies versus mercs, and you fly a fighter jet, and you shoot down the lycanthropes. You play as, like, a an English gentleman. He looks like in like a fancy hat, and he's like basically Van Helsing as far as I can tell, and he shoots werewolves and stuff. And so it's like Resident Evil plus Van Helsing, I guess. Okay. But like it's a movie.
The controversy from what I've heard is that it's extremely short.
It's like 3 hours of gameplay from what I've heard, with like 2 hours of cutscenes maybe.
So it's just
from what I saw, I watched a gameplay video. I think it was like an E3 video. It was the most cover-earnest shooter I've ever seen.
Right, it's a linear cover shooter with not zombies, sorry, werewolves. Same,
Same.
Do they have zombie werewolves? That would be cool. That would make me play this game. I've seen them before
in video games.
How come I never heard about this game before the controversy?
Oh, you sure did.
AAA fucking.
I guess so.
They had one of the most fancy setups at PAX. You probably.
Oh, yep. Now I'm seeing the gameplay. Yes, I remember. Oh, yeah. Well, who's surprised? Yeah. Who's surprised that this game was 6? Like, remember seeing the gameplay footage of this game? I'm in no way surprised that this game is 6 hours long.
No, this is exactly what I thought when the first time I saw it. I was like, this is exactly what I
thought. This is... you know what this looks like is... what was that Rome game that was launched?
They've been already comparing it to Rise, actually. It's PS4's version of that now.
There you go. That's what it looked like to me. Like, it's basically that. Now that I'm seeing the gameplay in this trailer, I remember it, and... Yeah, I'm in no way surprised that it's 6 hours long.
I was seeing some, like, I mean, honestly, I haven't played the game, so I can't...
None of us have.
Yeah.
So we're all full of shit, but, you know.
It brought up an interesting argument between, like, can a game that's very short still be worth $60?
Sure.
And, I mean, but it becomes so difficult when you're at that low of a time that... I'm trying to think of games. Portal 2 is the most recent game I can think of that was... I think I played that for 8 hours, a little less than 8 hours. And I'm only counting the single player, I guess. So with the multiplayer, it was probably more like 13 or 14 hours. But that's the only game I can think of that was, to me, a good game that was very short and $60.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, Fallout New Vegas, I beat that in like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, Skyrim you can beat in like 20 minutes.
But it's also because I rushed through it on hardcore mode. It wasn't because I was trying to absorb. There's like 700 hours of content in it, so that's not an argument. I'm just saying.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, does game length matter? Yes, especially
does matter?
And yes. Game length matters on depending like. The amount that game length matters towards how good a game is depends almost entirely on genre, right? If you have a linear third-person shooter, cover-based shooter, then a short game would be pretty shitty.
I mean, all the Uncharted games are almost the same exact story. They're maybe slightly longer even than that, but like maybe 4 to 6 hours instead of like 3 to 5.
That's the other thing that I was a bit weirded out about when I've been hearing this whole controversy happening with this game that also I was not super excited for in the first place, so I don't know where this controversy came from. But loads of AAA games have been like 6 hours long, which is among the many reasons I've kind of strayed away from AAA for the most part.
It's weird because I'm seeing people try and defend this length of a game, not based on the fact, not saying it's good, but saying it could be good. So it's just weird to me that we've gotten to a point where it's okay for AAA games to be really, really short when it should be the complete opposite. Like, what old AAA games, like I'm talking Xbox, PS2, GameCube era, those AAA titles were usually rather long. I mean, I would say anywhere from 15 to 30 hours would be a good bracket for that. And we've gotten to the point where most AAA games either have extremely short single player with tacked on multiplayer that's awful or useless, or even just a very short single player experience. And these games are $60, and this is, I mean, it's weird that the order is getting defended when it's the same issue we've been seeing for quite a long time now.
Wait, hold on. I'm looking at the trailer for The Order 1886. Top comment: haters keep on hating. This is going to be a contender for Game of the Year. Carry on.
Wow. That's a solid stance to have.
That is a bold prediction, Console Caesar. Bold prediction.
I'm trying to think of the difference in like where that changeover happened that Austin was just talking about, and I wonder if it's to do with the like absolute solidification of this is how you churn out games. Like before, it used to be like we had a vision, we acted on that vision, we got a budget, and we made it happen. Now it's like we started with a marketing budget and we figure out a game from that.
Yeah, it's partly that. Before I touch on that point, I just wanted to mention this comment was from 4 weeks ago. And that in lies one of the major problems with this whole The Order debacle.
Come out yet.
Yeah, right. That's one of the major problems. This guy hadn't even touched the game. He's already calling it Game of the Year, and pre-ordering is one of the main fucking issues at the base of this whole controversy, right? Because that's what's happening here is people pre-ordered thinking the game was going to be really awesome, and then it's only 6 hours long, and they feel like they got gypped instead of waiting a day and seeing all the controversy over it being 6 hours long.
We're still debating whether or not it could be awesome, and we don't say gypped.
Yeah, right. Well,
we've been over this.
Yeah, well, how many gypsies
I just don't
want
to be offensive. That's
fine. But anyway, to the point that you brought up before I went tangential there, I think the thing about games being shorter and shorter is you have to keep in mind that games budgets have been getting larger and larger, and then on top of that, costs to create games has been getting higher and higher and higher. So I think what tends to happen now is it's easiest to just make a series of set pieces, you know, right?
They're predictable.
Exactly. And the thing that's really great from a marketing perspective or from a person holding on to cash, that guy's perspective, is that everything that you make in the game is going to be seen.
Yeah,
right?
Maximum money for assets. I agree.
And that's a lot of I think that must be, I mean, I guess I don't know, but I would imagine that would be a concern of someone who's holding the cash to make a video game. Like, oh yeah, let's spend like, you know, $15,000 on this Easter egg that people aren't necessarily, like most people aren't actually going to see. Yeah. And I'm sure that might be hard to pitch today. You know, many years ago, you didn't really have to pitch it, right? It was just like, that's just kind of what games are. But now you kind of have, with the budgets being so inflated and costs being so high, I feel like you have to pitch everything. And I feel like the easiest thing to do is to make a linear, set-piece to set-piece, cinematic-like experience.
Well, there's another reason, too, and I think it has to do with this weird boner we've had for, like, the last 10 years about trying to be the first piece of media that officially validates that video games and movies can be the same thing.
Right.
And they've noticed for years that there's this correlation in movie scripts with set pieces in video games, that there's a mechanical layout to storytelling that can be replicated by doing a box here, a box there, a box there, a box there, conclusion, right? So I think they really want to make that bridging of the two different types of media, and they've been going through endless lengths to try and prove that it's a possibility, and every time they do it, it comes across the same way, which is, what do we want out of games most? Generally, we want good gameplay with some sort of emergent quality where we feel like we've had a slightly different experience than everyone else. Yeah. At least that's the thing that I really value.
Yeah.
Where we end up, though, is we're basically just reading a book together, which is okay, too. It's got a visual element, it's got an auditory element, it's got a slight amount of interactivity, but ultimately, we're playing nearly frame for frame the exact same experience. That's the opposite of what I want.
You know what's really sad for me is that this is another in a long line of... a long recent line of new IP failures. And
right, which is reinforcing to them that they should never take chances ever.
Exactly. That's what's really terrible to me, is that it really is. It's just letting them know, like, okay, why would we ever take a risk like this again? Like, what's the point? If people are all gonna hate it anyway, what's the point? The risk is massive. They spend so much money.
This isn't even a risk. This was your you know, third-person cover shooter, regenerating HP. Nonsense that we've seen time.
Well, but that's the thing. That was them minimizing risk on a new IP, right? Like Watch Dogs, that's another new IP that came out recently. What did they make? They made a free roam game in a city. Like it's when you make a new IP today, you minimize risk. But every time that's happened recently is the risk is not paid off. They've been critically panned. I mean, I think the only critically acclaimed new IP of the last year was what, Shadows of Mordor? I mean, what else?
It's not really a new IP. It's a Lord of the Rings game.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing too, right? Like, I mean,
it's a movie tie-in.
Yeah, you either get a licensed game or a new IP, and new
Dishonored
IPs
did pretty well.
Did it? Well, that wasn't last year though, right? That was 2 years ago.
No, I just meant recent memory though.
Right. Did that do well? That's good.
Did better than I think expected.
I was very disappointed with Dishonored, and keep in mind, this is me not having played the game, so take everything I'm about to say with a grain of salt, but I initially read about Dishonored in Game Informer years ago, and at that time, the game was being touted as a free roam game in which you could move around the city freely. Right. And then I was very disappointed when it came out and or when it started coming out that they said that it was actually just a linear story. And I was very disappointed by that.
It's kind of pseudo free roam, isn't it? Like there's areas where you can walk around a lot, but it's still kind of set pieces that are open enough that you can spend some time in them.
Right, yeah. But I mean, this kind of thing has happened to me multiple times where, like, you know, I read about a game way before it comes out and they still have ambitious ideas.
It's the same bullshit hype cycle to drive pre-orders. We want to sell an idea that isn't in existence yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're tired of being lied to in essence. I mean, I know they don't mean it as lies when they write it, but by virtue of hyping up a thing that they don't know where it's going to land, that's where it ends up.
Yeah, and again, let me clarify. Like, I don't know if Dishonored was a good or bad game. I didn't, like I said, I didn't actually end up playing it. But I didn't end up playing it because I was disappointed by the direction that they took it.
I want to know why companies are so terrified to do open world games right now. Because I think Shadows of Mordor proved that your open worlds can be really boring and not have any kind of interesting, design to it and still work. Like, Mordor, it did what it was supposed to do, which is, be Mordor, drab and dark and orcs and all that. But when you look at it from, like, a perspective of, complexity, it's not complex at all.
No, it's a bunch of dirt and rocks.
It's
dirt
like Cookie Clicker, basically, with a hack and slash action game on top of it.
And it still worked, though. It was still fun to go around and explore things, even though it was so, drab. And if you actually had a good open world to go in, I feel like you could have such a great game just on that alone. Well, like, Skyrim was so boring in most of its areas. And it still worked out very well.
You know how complex AI programming is, though, and the more variables you introduce, the more openness there is, the more potential for emergent gameplay. Equally, the more bugs will be introduced and the more time in troubleshooting. And nobody has time to troubleshoot. They only want to push the game out and not even patch it ever.
And not just that. Remember the thing that I was talking about before. You potentially are spending thousands, maybe millions of dollars on assets that no one will ever see. Maybe. Or at least the majority of people won't ever see. That is risky for a company that wants to make an open world game. I mean, it's like making an MMO, right? I mean, the budgets for those games are much larger than they are for like a linear story driven game, like say The Order, and there's risk associated with making an open world game like that.
Those politics, though, they have to vary from one studio to another, right? Like, I really want to talk to somebody, or at least a few people that have worked in AAA that can vouch for whether or not they honestly care to kind of compromise their own vision or integrity toward the game in favor of, setting up asset per dollar equations.
I don't know. I mean, every game has collectibles and stuff, right? I mean...
Well, those are meant to lead you to those assets, so yeah, in a way you're right about that.
That's what I mean.
And, there was a post about someone claiming to be a employee of, I think, was it Ubisoft, or I think he was working on an Assassin's Creed game or something, and he was mentioning how the time frames they were given were so ludicrous, and what they were expected of was so insane that the game, of course, was awful for those reasons alone. They tried to just make it as fast as they could conceive, and that's just not how game making should be.
Yeah. And that's what I meant when I said where they really settled into the process of churning out games. It's when they started min-maxing what they can get output-wise from employees, instead of letting them actually develop a vision.
Well, that's the thing too, right? Is that, like, I would have to imagine, as far as developing a game is concerned, the majority of money that you're spending on, and this is, I mean, the development process itself, is labor, right? I mean, the licenses for the programs that they use, they probably are dwarfed entirely by the labor, and
and some of them develop their own, actually, too.
Yeah, right. That's another thing too.
In-house ones.
Yeah. So, like, that's another thing, is I'm sure businesses or publishers are min-maxing how much development time a studio can even have based on how much they're willing to pay for labor, right? So
the whole process is fucked from the inside out, basically.
Mm-hmm.
All of this politics, bureaucracy, red tape bullshit means this is where the only direction really can go.
Mm-hmm.
There's so few people that really just care about making the idea they have in their head and then can somehow establish a budget without crowdfunding it. Like, this is not, like, you can't expect that from these companies anymore.
It's weird, too, because you see weird things happen in the games industry that seem to go completely unnoticed by AAA. Like, look at Firaxis, right? They're still a multi-million-dollar company. And they still, for the most part, stick to their guns in the kind of games that they make, right? They don't really deviate and, you know, make an Overwatch like Blizzard is. Which, by the way, I think it looks pretty fun. I would play it, but I mean, keep in mind, like, I still think that's like a, hey, let's make something that'll make a lot of money. Whereas Firaxis will come out of nowhere, come out of left field, and, you know, pick up the license to XCOM and make XCOM Enemy Unknown a, you know, a remake or a, you know, a reimagining of XCOM, a game that was popular fucking 20 years ago. And then it was a critical and financial success for them. And, you know, that would normally be, to a publisher, a fucking massive risk. Enormous risk. A risk of
but they knew they had
unimaginable
they
risk.
Were confident. They knew that there were people that cared about this idea, and they knew that they had the chops to be able to actually make it, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Which is the confidence that you don't seem to see coming from the people providing finances from those other people.
Yeah.
They don't have any confidence in anything because it's not a game they're interested in playing, nor do they have any investment in the ideas that are being developed in the first place.
Yeah, that's the sad thing too, right? Is because, I mean, I'm sure these game designers play video games, right? I mean, they must be bored by the shit they're stocking out too, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like how our health insurance system makes it so basically the people providing the actual, you know, doctors' prescriptions are basically the people handing out the insurance, right? That everything has to get approved by the insurance companies. So whether your doctor says you need something or not, if your insurance company doesn't agree with it, you don't get it.
Right.
So it's like the secondhand, we're sending off all the money to the people who don't actually know to be the ones to approve or shoot down an idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I will say that a AAA game that has excited me just from the visuals alone, really, like, that's where we're at, is that I can see a game and just be like, that one looks better than anything I've seen, so I'm gonna get excited for it because it's just almost impossible to find something that looks good. Is Xenoblade Chronicles X, the new...
Yeah, I kind of want to play that too, actually.
It just, every trailer I see for it, it seems like they've created a very vast and various open world, and it just looks nice. I look at it and I go, that might be really fun. That might be a cool world to explore. When I look at games like The Order, I'm like, that's...
But by the same
gray
token,
and brown.
That's kind of...
Yeah.
Austin, though, what you said is kind of the same thing, though, that the hype cycle tends to take advantage of a lot when you don't really know exactly how something's going to fall. And I know this is kind of an exception to the rule because people know about the series already, so it's not really this game, but I just mean this archetype. When you see games that are sort of like variable in terms of their gameplay systems, you can leave that up to your imagination, right? So all of a sudden your mind starts telling you it could be X, Y, and Z. Reality is you end up just walking around a bland world, and then you get bored.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be that. I'm just saying that is a thing that happens a lot.
Well,
it could totally happen.
Also, keep in mind another thing that's been happening as of late, which is very, very, very disappointing to me, because it's like the only thing that gets me excited at all in AAA games is, yeah, it might look good in the trailers that they're showing you. Doesn't mean that that's what the game's going to look like.
Yeah.
And that, that's not even like
press now that are the problem too.
Yeah, and like and me saying that isn't even like a crazy thing for me to say. It's happened so frequently that
Watch Dogs and Dark Souls are immediately the thing that pops
yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I bet
Dark Souls 2, I'm sorry.
I bet you $1 million fucking The Division is going to have the same thing. Where, like, oh yeah, that looks fucking great in trailers. Like, you can see the individual glass particles coming out of the car windshield and stuff.
Yeah.
I bet you none of that shit is getting into the regular game.
I agree with you, but I was more talking just about the design as opposed to the quality of the design.
Yeah.
Well, you can also tell games that are actually in-game when they're showing them versus things that are... Well, you can't always, which is the problem, but...
Legend of Zelda a year ago.
Yeah, no, there's instances where you can tell, and it's nice to see that something is definitely in a game and looks right and looks like it's fun, versus this crazy shit where it's just all made up, where they hired some company to generate a CG video that's a half an hour long, and just take little bits of it and use it in various ways.
Square Enix. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. The whole mainstream games industry has gotten me so jaded towards it that I just barely pay attention to it anymore, is the thing. I used to a lot. But I mean, I don't know, maybe this indie game renaissance really hit me well in a good way, where I'm excited and passionate about video games again. You know?
Yeah.
Like, there's a bunch of really cool shit that's coming out and is always constantly being, made, that is just a passion project. And they explore strange ideas, strange concepts, or game mechanics as well. And that's awesome. That is what video games are, to me. And the boring, cookie-cutter, same shit schlock every time bullshit out of AAA has just made me never want to touch anything that they make ever again.
It's sad too, because I can remember, and I'm sure you guys can remember, getting all excited when E3 was coming around the corner. Turn on fucking G4. Oh, here we go. E3's about to start. It's summertime. School's out. I can't wait to see what new games are coming out. It's gonna be so cool. They're gonna show all their new stuff. And now it's like, oh, I wonder what we're gonna make fun of this time at E3.
Yeah.
What's gonna be the memes coming out of this one?
I also wonder though sometimes whether or not we're acting like Stan from that episode of South Park. It's like we've gotten too old and jaded and cynical, and everything that comes out is just bullshit.
I don't
think it's really the case.
No, it's not.
We are like that, but
it's not a case of like back in my day, because like literally you can look at the difference in quality, and that isn't to say you look at the difference in diversity maybe more than quality. The diversity of the games that we played, 15 years ago is far greater than the diversity today, if you're looking at just AAA. Now, keep in mind, back then, all you had was AAA, right? There was no indie game community unless you were super hardcore and went into the homebrew community, right? But you just had AAA, but the diversity of games was far greater, and companies were way more willing to take risks.
Well, the difference then was licensed, like Nintendo products versus not licensed.
Yeah. Well,
right?
Yeah.
That's kind of your AAA split right there, although it's not the same thing. But the budgets weren't really a thing in the same way then either.
Yeah. Well, and then also back in those days, they weren't so concerned about making it a cinematic experience. and hitting all the demographics that they had to, right? Like for the most part,
they weren't churning it out yet.
Yeah, exactly. Like for the most part, they were making a game that they wanted to make, and I say for the most part, right? Because I mean there was loads of games.
Licensed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Movie
But for the most part, it was you know at least one person's passion project.
And the constraints made them look at things in a different way. That's like, well, obviously we can't make a photorealistic fucking open world game. So like, what can we do that's fun?
Right.
And then they hone in on one fun concept.
How can we make it look nice? How can we make it look nice, but not like we can't make it look real? So let's like make it look nice.
That's the other thing.
That's a
force them to consider the gameplay over the graphics.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that too.
And I'm not one to say that like graphics don't matter at all. Because
no, they absolutely matter. Now they matter more than ever.
Yeah. Yeah, well, especially since the gameplay is so shallow. I mean, it better look fucking pretty if it's so shallow.
I just think we can have both. And I've said this before. I think it's possible to have both good gameplay and fantastic graphics.
Link to the Past. Link to the Past is a great example of that. That to me, Link to the Past, is the pinnacle of the 32-bit era graphically. That game still today looks beautiful. Like everything in that game just looks gorgeous.
It has style.
It does.
It's cohesive, which is the most important thing about any graphical anything.
It is thematically cohesive, and that is super important, and it looks great. And you know what? That was important to them in those days, was that it looked pretty. Because it does matter. I mean, you know, there's a reason we stopped playing text adventure games for visual video games, right? So
well, some people didn't stop, but
yeah. But I mean, but for the most part we did, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, it's you could have both. You absolutely can have both. You could have both great gameplay and great art design as well.
And in the case where there are games like Vanishing of Ethan Carter, where the graphics are fantastic, it will actually help me to kind of forgive when the gameplay becomes a little repetitious.
Mm-hmm.
I actually will forgive more that way. And with Vanishing of Ethan Carter specifically, there were a lot of moments that were just like, let's walk around. And thankfully, there was a lot to look at. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there was a period in the game where you go underground and you don't have a lot to look at, and the game suffered greatly as a result.
Yeah,
that's my opinion.
They also did another certain thing in the underground part, which was really stupid and dumb. And I think we've talked about it actually before.
And now I understand why they did it. And you didn't see the ending though, is the thing. And I'm not going to spoil the ending for anyone. But when Austin made that criticism, he didn't understand why that happens, and now I know why it happens.
I still don't see a reason why it should happen.
Yeah. Well. You went to the moon too, right? So, or you went into space.
Well, no. I get why it happened. I still don't think it should have happened, but
yeah, you're criticizing the story entirely. I'm criticizing it within the construct that they made it in. I agree with you. I think the story had a problem when it got toward the end, but we don't need to get into that anymore.
Yeah, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I do know about the event that Austin is talking about.
It's a good game.
I want to play it, actually.
I still enjoyed what I did play of it. It just decided that it didn't want me to play it anymore halfway through due to that event that happened.
Right, but it actually is being thematically consistent in that action, even though it doesn't seem that way.
But then I feel like...
But when the rules are do anything, it doesn't matter, right? So that's why it's a problem. And that's as much as I want to say, because anything past that is a spoiler.
Right.
Yeah.
Games, right? They're all terrible.
Also, Nintendo sucks. Fuck Nintendo.
Yeah, do we have any Nintendo fucked up news this week?
No, they're still quiet. They're still Nintendo quiet.
Nah, it's just the order fucked up this week.
Yeah, we got other things to talk
about. Did Nintendo have anything to do with the order? No, they didn't. Damn.
Who made this? Sony? Oh, it's SCE, huh? So this is first party. So it really is the PS4's rise.
Yeah, I said that earlier.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what I said. It really is. Yeah.
Nintendo didn't do anything, but someone faked out all the Nintendo fans. There was a Super Smash Brothers leak of the new character that turned out to be totally fake, and the guy who did
a new character. There's more characters.
Yeah, they're gonna have DLC.
Oh, I love DLC, especially when Nintendo makes it. All right, enlighten me, please. Go right ahead.
Well, they already announced the DLC.
Is it the Louis Vuitton fucking bag DLC?
No, it's gonna be. They're gonna have
okay.
Mewtwo do the game as a character, and
I knew that.
He'll be, yeah, that he's the first DLC. But the second one apparently was going to be Rayman, and someone.
Oh, that I don't understand.
Someone posted a video. It looked 100% real. People brought it up in Photoshop and looked at it and were like, "Oh, this matches up. This is real." And turns out a guy with way too much time on his hands created this fake using a bunch of, like, he spent hours in After Effects making sure everything lined up. He even created his own Rayman model from scratch in order to...
Oh my god, that's so bad and good at the same time.
Yeah, and he made this fake, and I don't know why he did it. He never really said. I guess he was just doing it for fun, but everyone believed it, and you can go watch the video. He goes through the whole process on how he did it.
Like the perfect crime, because they made fucking Solid Snake be in one of the games, so who the hell knows what licensing deals they could come up with.
It was so real that is it Ubisoft that owns Rayman?
Oh, were they starting doing like inter-office memos and being like,
they were going to comment? They said we're going to comment soon on this. They told us
we're not sure if we authorized this.
Yeah,
I'm sure they were
like,
a couple...
man, did we let Nintendo have our character?
Wait, yeah, who authorized this? Which was it, you, Bill?
Fucking Johnson.
I'm sure they called Nintendo like, what the fuck is this?
Are you ripping our shit off, Nintendo? Come on now.
Well, and for that reason, there's not even going to be any video in the next Smash installment, because they're going to be afraid that people are going to make YouTube videos of new characters. So the next Smash shouldn't have any of those. Because they're just going to spoil it. Yeah.
They should develop a proprietary video output setting that only Nintendo products use, that can't be captured by like Elgato's or go into TV monitors or anything like that, just to make sure nothing ends up on YouTube unless it goes to their creator program, because they'll sell you a dongle for $99.
$99.
Oh, this poor man on this order YouTube comments. Looks awesome. Let's hope the gameplay is good.
Oh, he's fucked.
Poor guy. Oh no! Poor Mazati Mu. He says, I'm buying a PS4 for this. Oh,
I'd be surprised if they didn't have like an order bundle with a PS4 that's like themed to that game.
Oh man, yeah. No kidding though, huh? About the whole, like, really people should stop pre-ordering things.
And also, people should stop being dicks to each other on internet comments, but we'll probably never get that to happen.
Yeah, that's not gonna...
It's like, as much as that sounded like a pretty innocuous statement, I'm sure that person got flamed to shit over just a stupid opinion over a video game. Who cares? I'm not saying his opinion was stupid, I just mean that someone put out an idea into the world.
Oh, look at this guy! So the original guy, I'm buying a PS4 for this, 370 upvotes. Yeah. Another person... in the comments says, don't waste your money, or at least wait for the reviews. Now, you're a smart fella, Nazir.
That was not even insulting, right? There wasn't anything like,
No,
you're
not
a
at all.
fuckwit, you should die in a fire.
Yeah.
I'll burn your skin off.
Wait,
like,
maybe people are learning. There's another guy. He says, don't pre-order it yet. Wait for reviews. Unity looked great as well in the trailers, and look how the game is now. So just wait. Maybe people are learning.
Maybe we've done some kind of Occupy Wall Street shit where it's now, like, in vogue to not want to pre-order games. They wouldn't do it because it makes sense, but maybe there's actually, like, a cliquishness going on here where we can band together against something.
Hey, look, this is one of the top comments. One of the top comments with the 109 upvotes, and this isn't even in reply. It's a guy in all caps. Remember, no matter how great this game looks, do not pre-order. It's hurting us, the consumers, and makes the publishers sell us half-assed games. There you go.
I'm impressed.
H2O deliciousness. Yeah, me too. I'm very impressed by the YouTube comments here. I mean, of course, that's below the I'm buying a PS4 for this comment. But still, I mean, that the fact that it's sharing space with it is pretty amazing. Now, all that said, I'm gonna pre-order Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
Well, it has some cool pre-order stuff.
I don't care.
Well, here's the other thing, too.
I honestly don't care, Rob.
Here's the thing. Some people or some games, for me, I don't care if it's bad, I'm gonna enjoy it. You know? You know what I mean? Like, a couple games are like that for me. Movie, too. I'll buy a movie, and I'll watch it, and I don't really care if the reviews are bad. I'm still gonna watch it, because I'll probably still enjoy it. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but it's not about that.
Yeah. That's true.
Because everyone that wants to just say the same thing will just all become the same problem, right?
Yeah. But I mean, can you really say that with The Order?
No.
Yeah. Like,
also, ultimately, I don't really give a shit. You do what you need to do. I'm just
but
saying.
Yeah, I mean, compared to like honestly, any Dragon Ball Z video game in which I could create a custom character and play through the story as that custom character, it doesn't matter if the game is. I've played a lot of Dragon Ball Z games in my life, and you know what? A lot of them were really, really awful. I'd say 90% of them were really low
that
quality.
One on GBA was okay. That was it, though.
Oh, the Dragon Ball Z. The Legend of Goku?
Budokai.
Probably Legend of Goku. It was like an RPG.
Yeah, Legend of Goku. That was pretty awesome.
That was okay.
Yeah. No, but the majority of them were really bad, and you know what? I derived a lot of enjoyment from them. So, like, that is literally all I need to derive enjoyment from it. And in that way, because I know that I'm going to enjoy it, no matter how awful it is, it's worth my $60. And it's worth the extra time that I saved to get the couple cosmetics that I will enjoy, like the turtle shell cosmetic that you can put on your back, Mr. Roshi's cosmetic, and then there's the Mr. Roshi beard and glasses as well. So,
well, there's also a difference though between dealing with something with the sale potential of something like a DBZ game versus something like Mortal Kombat X, which is going to have mass potential to a larger degree, I think, than Dragon Ball Z. Maybe I'm wrong there. But they've got such a brazen attitude towards the marketing in that they have like 4 different pre-order packs. One of them costs like $180.
Yeah.
It's just fucking nuts. Don't encourage that bullshit anymore. I know you want your golden scorpion figurine statuette bullshit, but come on.
You could probably buy it for cheaper if you wait like a month.
If you give it a month, GameStop will have all the ones that people pre-ordered and decided not to buy for like $60.
Yeah.
Those will sit on their shelves. They don't go anywhere. They don't send them back to the manufacturer when people don't buy them. They sit in their back room taking up a ton of space until they eventually get a directive from higher-ups to put it out for a way discounted price.
Mm-hmm.
That's what happened with all the Batman things with a fucking Batarang made of plastic that nobody gave a shit about.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. You know, that's another... Yeah, you know, there are very few games in which that I could say that I will safely pre-order. And as much as I love the Arkham games, Arkham Knight's not going to be one of them, I think. I don't think I'm going to safely pre-order that because there's a pretty good likelihood that that game could be bad. And
can you point to any games that you guarantee will be good before being released?
Well, no, but I mean,
there's ones you can make an exception for, like Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, there are ones that I know that I will derive enjoyment from. You can never make the assessment that a game will be good, but there is a distinction.
That's almost the default position for most people.
Well, that's the thing is like a lot of people, and I see this all the time. A lot of people can't seem to delineate the difference between something that is objectively good and something that I enjoy. Because
there's no objectively good.
Well, something that is good versus something that you enjoy. Because there is a difference there.
Should they be expected to?
Yeah.
They don't have like a ability to do critique on a video game. That's like our job.
No, I know. I'm just saying that you know, a lot of people can't seem to make that delineation at all. Like, they won't even resolve to appreciate that there is a difference. That you can like something and that doesn't make it a good product. Like, you can love the shit out of Big Rigs Off-Road Trucking or whatever. That doesn't make it a good goddamn game. It's bad game. You can absolutely... Right. You could have fucking spent 5,000 hours having a great time flying through the rings in Superman 64. That does not make it a good game. You know?
But that's because they have no tie to the industry. If all your experiences with one game, why would you care what other people think about anything? If that's your main attraction is like 1 or 2 little games that you play on occasion, who cares what the rest of the industry is doing?
Well, it's only a problem when they try to argue that the thing that they like is good. And that's the part that I take gripes with, is that I've had arguments over...
That's intellectual honesty at that point, that you're kind of lying if you don't have an ability to make an argument, but you're trying to anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, they don't mean it maliciously, but if you don't know what you're trying to say and you don't have any vocabulary to say it with, what's the conversation then? It's just going to be pejoratives. It's just going to be insults.
Yeah. Yeah.
So don't have that conversation. Just have one that's more productive.
Yeah, that's true. But it's the internet, man.
I know.
Also, we've officially crossed the 1 hour threshold. And Austin is driving places tomorrow.
1 hour.
He's driving right now, actually.
Yeah, he's in a car right now.
I'm in a car.
He's in a big rig, going through rings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, going through that. Now that would be a great crossover. Big
Superman 64 big rig sim.
Yes, exactly. That would be fantastic.
He just carries them instead of drives them.
I would too. Yeah, that'd be great.
I'd freeze the big rig into a block of ice and then I'd kick it.
They should make a second. They should make Superman 64 2, and you just fly through rings again with
Superman 128.
Yeah,
that joke's never been made before.
Dude, the entire United States, all of the club, mapped out with Google Maps. Superman flies through the whole thing. He's got to find all the stars.
Perfect.
There's 120 stars. You got to find them. No instructions. Just go.
That would be. I would play it.
That's a really good idea. Somebody make that.
Yeah.
I do that a lot. I just say, just somebody make that. I don't know how to do it. Fuck you.
Well, thanks for watching, everybody. New episodes Mondays and Fridays.
See you later.
Bye. This is Alpaca Patrol signing out. Peace, fools.